The sound. It pierces the silence of your sleep, a synthetic shriek tearing through the fabric of your dreams. It is your alarm. And in this single moment, before consciousness has fully returned, the first battle of your day is declared. A choice is presented. A line is drawn in the sand of your own mind. On one side, discipline and ownership. On the other, comfort and surrender. How you act in this 1 second will predict the outcome of your entire day. For 99% of the population, the response is a pre-programmed reflex, an instinct born not of strength, but of avoidance. The hand moves almost of its own volition, fumbling in the dark. It seeks the source of the noise not to conquer it, but to negotiate a temporary truce. The snooze button. With a single, seemingly harmless press, the battle is over before it has even begun. It is their first act of surrender for the day. This isn't just a request for 9 more minutes of sleep. It is a profound psychological statement. It is a negotiation with weakness, a quiet plea to your own subconscious that you are not yet ready to face reality. You are retreating into the false, fleeting comfort of the warm blankets, choosing a momentary reprieve over a lifetime of resolve. You tell yourself it is just a little more rest, a small indulgence, but it is a lie. It is an act of self-sabotage disguised as self-care. This single action, this tiny surrender, ignites a catastrophic chain reaction of compromise that will poison the hours to come. By choosing snooze, you have taught your brain, in its most pliable and suggestible morning state, that your commands are optional, your resolutions are flexible, your intentions are merely suggestions open to debate. The promise you made to yourself last night, to wake up early, to exercise, to write, to begin your most important work, is the first casualty. And so, the day unfolds along this trajectory of defeat. The difficult phone call is pushed to the afternoon. The workout is shortened and then skipped entirely. The healthy meal is replaced by something fast and convenient. Each decision becomes a new negotiation, and you have already proven to yourself that you are a poor negotiator, one who always gives in to the path of least resistance. You have become an emotional slave, a servant to the whims of momentary discomfort and the siren song of procrastination. But somewhere else, in another room, the same sound erupts. The 1% hear it. For them, it is not a suggestion. It is not a negotiation. It is a command. It is the starting pistol for the race of the day, and their response is just as automatic, but it is forged from a different material entirely. Before the alarm's digital cry has even finished its first cycle, their feet are on the floor. The sound is silenced not as a truce, but as an acknowledgement of the order. The battle is won in the first second. There is no internal debate. There is no hesitation. There is only the cold, hard reality of execution. This is not about being a morning person. That is a myth created by the undisciplined to justify their own failures. This is about being a person of commitment, a person whose word, even when given only to themselves, is unbreakable law. This is the chasm that separates two entirely different modes of existence. It is not about wealth or status or luck. It is about a fundamental orientation toward reality. One person begins their day by breaking a promise to themselves. The other begins their day by keeping one. One starts with a retreat, the other with an advance. This is the primal, foundational difference between the slave and the sovereign. The slave to impulse, to comfort, to the pathetic plea for just 5 more minutes. And the sovereign of their own mind, their own time, and their own destiny. Your entire life is a reflection of how you respond to that first sound. The question is, which one are you? You believe the lie that the morning is for comfort. You tell yourself, in a soft, forgiving whisper, that you _0_more sleep. You've convinced yourself that you are simply not a morning person, as if it were a genetic trait, a fixed and unchangeable part of your identity. This is the grand illusion. This is the beautifully decorated, velvet-lined trap that ensures your continued mediocrity. The reality is far more severe. Every time your hand moves, seemingly of its own accord, to press that snooze button, you are not stealing a few more moments of precious rest. You are performing a quiet, intimate ritual of self-sabotage. You are injecting a dose of pure weakness directly into your psyche, a psychological poison that numbs your ambition and paralyzes your will. This act is a form of training. But you are not training for resilience or strength. You are training your nervous system to prioritize the fleeting, shallow comfort of the moment over the profound, lasting satisfaction of your duty. You are conditioning your own mind to see your commands as optional, to view your resolutions as negotiable terms. In a treaty you are constantly rewriting in favor of your own weakness. Think of the signal. The alarm is your own command, issued the night before by the best version of yourself. It is a message from your strategic mind to your operational self. When you hit snooze, you are staging a mutiny against your own leadership. You are telling your subconscious mind, the silent operator of your life, a powerful and destructive story. The captain's orders don't matter. Our commitments are flexible. Our word is meaningless when faced with the slightest discomfort. This isn't rest. It is the active practice of failure. The fragmented, low-quality sleep you get in those 9-minute increments is not restorative. It's a state of neurological limbo that leaves you groggier and less prepared than if you had risen immediately. You are, quite literally, rehearsing the act of giving up. You are running drills for surrender, over and over, until it becomes an unconscious, automated response. Imagine your discipline, your willpower, as a suit of armor you must wear to face the day. It protects you from distraction, from impulse, from the chaos of the world, and the weakness within. Each morning, you have the opportunity to polish this armor, to make it stronger, to prepare it for battle. But with every press of the snooze button, you are not polishing it. You are choosing to apply a small, potent drop of acid. It doesn't shatter the armor in one go. It's more insidious than that. It just corrodes it, one pathetic 5-minute surrender at a time. It eats away at the integrity of the metal, creating micro-fractures of self-doubt and thinning the plating of your resolve. By the time you finally drag yourself out of bed, your armor is already compromised. It is pitted and weakened, unprepared for the arrows of procrastination and the blows of temptation that the day will inevitably fire at you. This morning ritual of weakness doesn't just affect your morning. It guarantees a day ruled by impulse, a life lived in reaction instead of action. It is the foundational crack that ensures the entire structure of your day will be unstable, ready to crumble at the first sign of pressure. This internal corrosion, this daily practice of failure, might feel like a modern disease, a sickness born from digital alarms and the false promise of endless comfort. But this battle is not new. It is an ancient war, waged in the minds of the greatest figures in history, long before the invention of the snooze button. Nearly 2,000 years ago, the most powerful man on earth faced this exact same enemy every single morning. He was the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a man who commanded legions, who ruled an empire that stretched from the sands of Syria to the shores of Britain, a man whose days were filled with the immense pressures of war, plague, political betrayal, and the lonely burden of absolute power. And yet, in the pre-dawn quiet of his campaign tent, or the cold stone of his palace, he felt the same pull you do, the same gravitational force of the warm blankets, the same siren song of comfort, whispering for him to remain, to delay, to surrender. But he did not have a button to press. He had something far more powerful, a philosophy forged in the unforgiving furnace of reality. He had a logic that served as his armor and his weapon. In his private journal, a collection of thoughts never meant for publication, he wrote a direct command to himself, a piece of operational code to be executed when the system faltered. He wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, what do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for?" Listen to those words again. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is not a motivational platitude. It is a law. It is the cold, yet hard logic of a commander reminding himself of the mission. Let's dissect this command. He starts by acknowledging the reality of the struggle when you have trouble getting out of bed. He doesn't pretend to be a machine. He admits the friction, the resistance. This is critical. Discipline is not the absence of the desire for comfort. It is the victory over it. Then comes the core argument. I have to go to work. As a human being, he isn't talking about the work of being an emperor. He is talking about the fundamental work of being human. The work of applying reason, of practicing virtue, of engaging with the world, of contributing to the whole. He is reminding himself that his nature is not that of a creature designed for hibernation. His nature is to be active, to be rational, to be social. To stay in bed is to act against his own nature, to betray his very essence. And then, the masterful reframing. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? This is a direct assault on the victim mentality. The part of your brain that whines about being tired, that feels put upon by the day's demands, is rendered illogical and absurd. It's like a bird complaining it has to fly, or a fish complaining it has to swim. Getting up is not a punishment. It is the fulfillment of your purpose. The mission of your existence is not to be found in the warmth of your bed. The mission is action. The mission is engagement. Your purpose is to engage with reality, to impose your will upon it, to build, to strive, to overcome. Every moment you spend negotiating with weakness in the morning is a moment you have surrendered from that mission. Aurelius understood that this first battle dictates the terms of engagement for the entire day. You either rise as a commander, or you eventually crawl out as a slave to your own impulses. The 99% do not feel their way through the morning. They execute a protocol. Feeling is a traitor at dawn. It whispers lies of fatigue. It begs for the false sanctuary of the warm bed. It argues for just a little more time. To consult your feelings in the first moments of the day is to ask a coward for permission to be brave. It is a fatal strategic error. The sovereign mind does not ask for permission. It follows orders. It executes a predetermined sequence of actions designed to seize control before the enemy. Your own weakness can even mobilize. This is your new protocol. These are your 9 morning commands. They are not suggestions. They are not optional. They are the new law by which you will operate. Command 1. Feet on the floor. The instant the alarm sounds, your feet are on the floor. There is no thought. There is no hesitation. There is only the stimulus and the response. The alarm is not a signal to wake up. It is a signal to move. This single, immediate physical action short-circuits the entire negotiation process. It is a declaration of intent that your body understands far more deeply than any resolution whispered in the dark. You are physically asserting dominance over inertia. This is the first victory, won in the first second. Command 2. Hydrate. Your body has been in a state of drought for the past 8 hours. Your brain, which is approximately 75% water, is operating at a severe deficit. To attempt complex thought or disciplined action in this state is like trying to run an engine with no oil. You will drink 1 full liter of water. This is not a gentle sip to wet your throat. This is a deliberate act of resupplying a biological machine for optimal performance. It flushes the system, it reignites your metabolism, and it sends a clear signal to every cell in your body. We are online. Command 3. Calibrate. You will sit in absolute silence for 10 minutes. No phone, no music, no input of any kind. This is not meditation to feel calm. This is a strategic reconnaissance of your own mind. In these 10 minutes, you will observe the chaos, the anxieties, the leftover dreams, the random urges. You will watch them like a general watching enemy movements from a hilltop. You do not engage. You do not follow them. You simply watch, and in doing so, you establish a critical separation. You are not the chaos. You are the observer of the chaos. You are the commander. Command 4. Define the mission. Take out a piece of paper and write down the one critical task that will define the day as a victory. Not a to-do list of trivialities. One single, primary target. What is the one thing that, if accomplished, will move you significantly closer to your objective? This act of writing it down transforms a vague intention into a concrete mission directive. It provides clarity and a singular focus for your energy. The day now has a purpose. Command 5. Fortify the body. You will now engage in hard physical exertion. Push-ups until you cannot do another. Air squats until your legs burn. A short, all-out sprint. Then, you will step into a cold shower. This is the principle of voluntary hardship. You are intentionally exposing yourself to discomfort, to inoculate your mind against the involuntary hardships the day will bring. The shock of the cold water silences the weak, complaining voice in your head. It trains you to move forward when every instinct screams retreat. You are forging armor in the ice. Command 6. Review the principles. Read one paragraph from Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus. Your mind, like your body, requires fortification. These are not just words. They are distilled logic from minds that have faced plague, exile, and war. They are a dose of sanity, a reminder of what is within your control and what is not. This is your strategic briefing. It aligns your thinking with reality and prepares you for the psychological friction of the day. Command 7. Enforce media blackout. For the first 60 minutes of your day, there is to be no email, no news, no social media. Your mind in the morning is a sterile environment for strategic thought. To check your phone is to invite 100 enemy combatants into your command tent. It is to surrender your agenda to the whims, emergencies, and anxieties of others. Protect your focus. Do not contaminate the operational theater. Command 8. Acknowledge mortality. Look yourself in the mirror. Look into your own eyes and state, this could be the last one. Memento mori. This is not to create fear, but to create urgency. It is the ultimate antidote to procrastination and triviality. It strips away everything that does not matter and focuses the mind with crystalline clarity on the mission at hand. Command 9. Execute. Immediately following these 8 commands, you will begin work on your primary target. You do not ease into it. You do not check one last thing. You attack the day. You are the aggressor. The momentum you have built is a weapon, and you will now aim it directly at your most important objective. You have been given the intelligence. You have received the protocol. And now, you have a choice that will echo through every moment of your waking life. This choice is not for tomorrow morning. It is not a decision to be made in the fog of sleep, when your defenses are at their lowest and the voice of weakness is at its most seductive. The choice is for right now. You have until your next sleep cycle to implement this protocol. This is your final window of opportunity before the cycle of compromise resets itself. Tonight, when you set your alarm, you are not simply setting a wake-up call. You are arming a device. You are programming the trigger for your first mission in a new reality. That sound, that electronic pulse in the darkness, will no longer be an invitation to negotiate with mediocrity. It will be the signal that the operation has begun. There is no debate. There is no committee meeting in your mind. There is only execution. The decision you make in the clarity of this moment is a strategic pre-commitment. It is a psychological masterstroke against your future, weaker self. Understand this. The person who wakes up tomorrow is not the same person who is listening to this now. The morning version of you is compromised. It is driven by the ancient, reptilian brain's desire for comfort, warmth, and the conservation of energy. It is a creature of pure impulse. To leave the most important decision of the day in the hands of this creature is an act of strategic insanity. You would not let a tired, emotional child command an army. So why would you let the weakest version of yourself command your day? By deciding now, you are the general, planning the battle in the calm of the war room. The soldier who wakes up tomorrow does not need to think. He only needs to follow orders. Your orders. There is no room for negotiation tomorrow morning, because the treaty has already been signed tonight. The terms are unconditional surrender to the protocol. When the alarm sounds, the voice of hesitation will begin its familiar, pathetic plea. It will speak of fatigue. It will whisper about the comfort of the blankets. It will rationalize just 5 more minutes. But for you, that voice will be nothing more than static, the meaningless noise of a defeated enemy. You have already outmaneuvered it. Your conscious mind, your higher self, made the decision hours before, when you were at your strongest. The physical act of your feet hitting the floor will be an automatic, conditioned response, a neural pathway you are about to burn into your very being. This is how you reclaim your sovereignty. Not by fighting a daily battle of willpower, but by making that battle obsolete through superior strategy. This is not a passive exercise. This is a declaration of war on your own weakness. To seal this commitment, to make it real and tangible, you must take one final, deliberate action. Go to the comments section of this briefing. In that space, you will make your public declaration. You will write the affirmation phrase, execution, not hesitation. This is not for me. This is for you. It is the psychological equivalent of signing a contract with your future self. The act of typing those words solidifies the intention, moving it from a fleeting thought into a concrete objective. It is your first act of compliance with the new protocol. It is your signal to your own subconscious that the old regime of comfort and compromise is over. Do it now. Make your stand. Then subscribe for your next briefing. The training does not end here. This is only the beginning. Your new life, the one of command and control, begins at dawn. Dismissed.